That huffing and puffing you can hear is my dog. She's an Alaskan Malamute and her name's Jet, and she's laying right behind me having a snooze. Welcome to Wolfie's Tiny Things. I'm just going to show you some of the things that are very personal to me, and yeah, you've probably seen me with them before, although that is brand spanking new. That's really nice. I don't know whether it'll come up on the video or not, but it glows in the dark. Isn't that cool? Yeah, it just barely picks up. But yeah, I got that today. It's by a woman on DeviantArt known as Tojo the Thief. I think it's a woman. Actually, I don't really know. But really nice. There's a werewolf jumping over the moon and across the moon, and his eye glows. Actually, I don't know whether it's a boy werewolf or a female werewolf. But one of the two. It's very nice and appeals to me in the strongest way possible. So I bought it. But these things are old. Like, I've had these for years. And that's an amethyst. And I wear that every day. And you've probably seen me wearing it at one stage or another. If you know me in the street, you've seen me wearing it. It's made by a local artist in, I think he sold from St Kilda Market. So I don't know where he lives. Might come from somewhere else. But that's where I saw them, and I know there was a few like that. So someone in Melbourne may actually own one just the same. Later, in a shop that sold odd things, I noticed that I could tell by that style that it was his design, and that's amber, and I don't think it's got any mosquitoes in it, but it does have little bubbles of air or something in there, or seeds maybe, I don't know, bubbles of air I think, and those are very pretty. But yeah, I don't think there'll be any dinosaurs. And I was just looking at that, I was just wondering whether we actually had another ball there and maybe one's fallen off. Ooh, I don't know, maybe not, maybe it just had the fall. I've got old photos of it. I must have a look. Maybe we've lost a little ball. That wouldn't be much good, would it? Now, this watch, Seiko moon phase watch from about 1986, that's when I bought it. And I was after moon phase watch. Now people, this is a moon. It's not a moon and a sun. A lot of people ask me about this, often when they're changing the battery for me. Ooh, is that one of those watches that has the moon in the night and the sun in the day? And I say, no, it is a moon phase watch. Now, I got this around about 1986, and my cousin got me a brochure, and I looked through it because he had a friend who was in a jewellery shop, and he knew I was after something like this. And so I went through the pages and I found it and I went, wow, that's exactly what I want. And so I had an envelope of money, and because that's what you used back in the old days, actual cash. And my mum or my dad went over to the jewellery shop with the envelope full of money, and the guy said, we don't have one. And gave the money back. Oh, Dad gave the money back, I think. And I just kind of went, damn. He said, we can order one in, though. And so that was good. But I had a computer at the time, an 8-bit computer called an Amstrad CPC 6128. And I wanted a new game, didn't I? So I said to Mum, look, I'm going to take some money out of the savings, because by the time he actually gets the watch in, I will be able to repay and everything will be fine. So that's what we plan to do. And then the guy rings up about the next day, and he says, oh, you wouldn't believe it, but I found one in the storeroom. so that's how, Mum said, don't worry, I'll cover for you. So she did, good old Mum. So I ended up with it pretty quickly. So for those of you who don't know, I'll just get that in focus. Come on, just don't go out of focus on me. Okay, so how it works is, that's the moon, right? Of course. And when it's in the middle, the moon is full, which probably makes sense. When it's on the left-hand side, when it's there, sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. It's in its first quarter. When it's over there, it's in its last quarter. And when you can't see a moon at all, it's a new moon. Now, what purpose would this be good for? Well, fishermen like these sort of things because fishermen have to know about the tides, and any oceanographers probably need to know about the tides. There's all kinds of people who need to know about tides. So this would be good for them, although I don't think it would be good for a fisherman because it's not waterproof. But it might be all right if he goes to a party with his girlfriend. Now, there's astronomers too, and when you take your telescope out in the night, it's good to know that there's no moon out because you won't be eaten by werewolves, or more accurately, you will be able to see better into space because you don't have the light of the great big moon in the sky. So if it's a new moon, you can look at your watch and go, oh great, it's a new moon. I can take my tablet, my tablet, I have to take my tablet too. I can take my telescope out and have a perfect sky. Bless you, darling. I'm not religious, but it's a habit. Anyway, so that's how these watches work, and that one runs on batteries, unfortunately, kind of, because it goes dead every so often, but that's life. If it was an automatic, it would be better. I haven't seen any of these on eBay, so which is curious. So can you get these anymore anywhere? I guess you can, but I've had that since about 1986 on and off. Every so often the battery dies and I go, oh, phew, and I can live without it. But yeah, I kind of feel a bit naked without it, so I love it. So it's definitely my thing. So there you go. That's my jewellery and this latest thing as well. So thanks for joining me on Wolfie's Tiny Things.